It's showtime.
You gotta say it like Beetlejuice, though.
You say it.
Yeah, oh, shut up. Now that I'm, I heard it in my head, and it like really sounded good.
It's showtime.
Thank you.
I can't get as deep as his does.
Yeah,
It's showtime.
it's showtime.
That's closer. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oops.
Welcome back to 30 Tuesday.
Yeah,
We are talking about
one of my favorite movies ever.
In ever.
also one of my favorite movies ever of all time
Of all time.
that I still watch all the time and keep trying to get my kids into.
We'll get there. There's just something about 2D animation that doesn't appeal to the youths.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Their eyes can't. They're too forward in technology. They can't comprehend the 2D
They're like,
that
what
well
is this
anymore.
bullshit?
Like, why are you showing me a piece
Like,
of
did
paper?
they use this in the Stone Age?
I
Right.
literally did this in kindergarten today. Why?
Is this from the late 1900s? Yes, just as a matter of fact, it is from the late 1900s.
1900s.
Ew.
That cracks me up every time I hear it.
I'm so offended.
I'll be right back. I am so sorry.
Oh,
Hold on
man.
1 second.
My goodness gracious.
Cracks me up every time.
I'm so offended.
I laugh, but I am also offended with you. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
Because
the first
fuck
time
you,
I got.
or the late 1900s. Get the fuck out of here with that.
I mean, I guess it'll sound cool in like 30 years or something, but
It still will be too soon.
you know, it's one of those things that I remember the first time I got offended by the date on which I was born, or the year rather, because I was entering something in online and it took more than one scroll. And I was like, whoa, wait. Where is this year in the 80s? Scroll, 2.5 scrolls to get there. My heart stopped. I couldn't believe that it took that long. And yeah. But you know what? We don't care because this movie came out in 1988 and it is a classic. It is a gem. I cannot say I can't say enough good things about this movie.
Agreed.
For all the reasons. Like the story's good. I will talk about this when Tanya gets back, but it's just there aren't many movies from maybe this era that I think hold up as well as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like just everything that they were doing. We were just talking about how there aren't movies that hold up as well as Who Framed Roger Rabbit that don't age as well. Like everything about it is. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times in the last month and a half because we were going to do the stream. I was watching on the train on the way here, and
not just the effects, even like the politics, like everything holds up.
We're going to jump right into that. But first, tell me the first time you saw it and what you're drinking.
I am drinking my usual Golden Monkey out of my usual frosty mug. There you go. I can see it like that. The first time I saw this movie was when it was brand new to the theater, and my parents took me to go see it. And it's the first movie that I ever went to go see. Fun fact, the second one that I went to go see was Die Hard. So,
well, bangers all day long.
So yes, that's the first time I saw it. It was in the movies. I remember it so vividly still because, well, one, I had never been to the movies before. So like that experience on its own is such a big deal for a kid. And I had never seen like cartoons with real people before. And, I was at an age where like cartoons were kind of real to me. So like it was completely mind blowing.
What a magical age to be.
Oh man, and it was like instant love. Like I loved it instantly. And my parents had to get it on VHS when it eventually came out.
Yeah. What about you, AK? Just my microphone.
I just got soundtrack sidetracked.
The soundtrack is great too.
My phone buzzed and it was a notification for a comment on the stream me and the ladies did about the last 3 episodes of Daredevil, and it'll just incredibly sweet, and
Aw.
For a second, I'm sorry.
Shout out to the people who leave beautiful comments and really engage.
Yeah. And really sit and ramble to me as I get tipsy with my friends talking about random TV shows.
Hey, it's a beautiful thing.
I think the first time I saw it, want to say was at my cousin's house in New York. I could be misremembering that though. There's plenty of movies where I could say, yeah, I was at my cousin's house in New York. So this may or may not be one of them. And you know what I'm drinking.
Rum and Red Bull. Just rum though. Shout out to my friend who is currently in the hospital with his lady, hoping that their baby comes out today. Because he sent me a video and they've got Soca playing in the background. And I was like, there's no better way to shake loose a baby than Soca. So yeah,
we can guarantee almost all of our kids come out dancing.
Godspeed, yo. I don't remember the first time I watched this movie, but it was a staple in my household. Definitely didn't see it in the movie theaters, but when it came, because we got everything late too, like being in Germany, it was like a six-month delay. But when it came in, it was instant classic. Like I think we probably had it on DVD. We did have it on VHS, or maybe taped on a VHS that somebody sent to us, and we watched it like all the time. Like I was, when you know a movie really well, like so well that you can ad lib the sound effects, like right on. Like this is one of those movies, right? Like if I made a sound from the movie, they would probably know what it was. And I just remember it just being a movie that never got old. It never got old. I don't get sick of watching Who Framed Roger. Like I would, and I don't watch movies back to back. Like I won't watch something and just watch it again unless we're podcasting about it. But like this, I'll stop halfway in the middle and then I'll be like, oh, I guess I got to start over again whenever I come back to it. Like I just want to, just everything about this movie is beautiful.
It's definitely up there as like one of my comfort movies as well. Like not just a movie that I really like, but like a movie where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to watch. I just want to put something on. Like this is definitely one of those that can serve that purpose too.
Yeah, for me, it's this movie, The Muppet Show, and Disney's Robin Hood, the animated one with the fox, and The Princess Bride.
That
probably says a lot about me.
Princess Bride, this movie, The Neverending Story, Part 1 and 2. So what's the other one I'm thinking about? Yeah, and even some cartoons, Codename Kid Next Door. They were awesome. I wanted to live in a cool, tricked out treehouse and go on spy missions.
Yeah.
I think my other comfort movies, other than this one, is Iron Man, the first one. Any Godzilla movie. Yeah. And lately, the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah, you've been watching that one a lot.
Yeah,
I was watching it earlier.
Yeah, I find myself
better than
it on
expected.
Now. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it until the second time I watched it. It was like, this is really funny.
Yeah,
I've been throwing that one on when like I'm working and I just want the TV to talk to me. I just kind of toss it on. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of those movies. Like I just turn it on and I'm just sitting there typing away and I'm like, please.
It's another one I had to consider. Thor Ragnarok is another one like that for me. I don't care where it comes from.
That is a solid one.
Beginning. It's like, it's such a good movie.
When Sulu was a baby, he really liked the menu music for it. So I used to just have it playing with the menu going. Just
nice.
Thing repeating over and over.
Oh man, remember those?
I catch myself watching 21 Jump Street every now and then.
Not
the movie, the TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the show. That and New York Undercover.
Ooh. Excuse me. No problem.
But yeah, I think the thing about this movie is that it grows with you, and it's like you were saying, the politics don't change, and I missed so many of those things while I was I watched it for this stream. Right, I was like, oh my god, like when Eddie walks into the bar, Bob Hoskins, and he's the dude's on the passed out on the table because he's drunk because he got laid off, right? And I was just like, I knew that. I was like, okay, I guess this guy lost his job. I'd heard of the pink slip before, but that was about as far as I processed it. But watching it from the very beginning and understanding how important the red car was to that economy and just how many people employed, how deeply ingrained it was in their community, all of these things, I didn't clock that until watching it for the stream. And then my mind was blown even more, almost as much as when I found out that this was a book and I did not know.
So I did know it was a book, but I did, but I'd never read it. But now I want to because Nick read it, and
so I'm in the middle of it. It's called Who Censored Roger Rabbit? It's actually one of 4 books.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I almost bought them all in that sale that they were having on that Evil Empire the other day. Wink, wink. But yeah, it's called Who Censored Roger Rabbit, and it reads like the movie, except there's just so much more going on. Like Roger's whimsical, but he's whimsical in a different way. One of my favorite things about the book so far is that, you know, how do you illustrate that you can say that somebody's a cartoon in the way that they act, but like in the movie you get to see it because they're animated. In the book, you know that they're a tune because when they speak, they're coming out in word bubbles, and so the bubbles like pop. They do the things. There's like onomatopoeias, or like popping and like falling to the ground when he's sad, or like breaking apart. And I'm like, yeah, he just keeps referring to his word bubbles, and I think that's a really clever way of doing it.
That is really
but it's still detective story, and very funny, very film noir. But yeah, all the economic and the economic impact of this takeover was pretty much lost to me. Like, I got that he wanted to, Judge Doo wanted to run through Toontown, but I didn't get just like all these little signs that were happening throughout. Like when Eddie jumps on the back of the car to smoke cigarettes with the kids.
With the kids.
So they're on the car, or when he's looking across the street and you see Cloverleaf Industries are taking over, and then you look at the Cloverleaf logo, and it's the sign of a highway, right? Like, what are those things called? Because they don't have those over there. But those
billboards.
Things. No, not billboards. Like the shape of a highway where they like overlap each other like a clover. The loops. Yeah. Like in DC they call it the Beltway, but here I don't know what they call it.
I think most major cities have a beltway.
Yeah. So seeing those things, like having that juxtaposed with the story of Who Framed Roger Rabbit was really, really magical this way around, because like it wasn't even until I got older that I was like, who framed Roger Rabbit? Framed being the operative word. I was just like, that's just the name of the movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, But he's a tune. He's on TV, he's in pictures, he's in frame, not like who pegged the murder on him,
Peg. Who pegged Roger Rabbit? That's the new version.
Who pegged? I bet it.
Oh, that there's a random fan fiction out there somewhere.
Oh, I have to tell you guys something offline.
You pegged Roger Rabbit? Nikki pegs guys while they're dressed as bunnies. That's what she wanted to tell us.
Casually a furry hunter.
See, I'm glad I didn't pull a Tanya right there, because I went to reach for my cup, but then I was like, you know what? Nah, there's no way she's not going to give me another line after that, and boom.
But you know what?
Thank you for delivering.
Change your name now to Nikki the Furry Slayer.
The furries.
It tracks.
Find me on field. Wink, wink. But I think, speaking of things sexual, I was like, I wonder, because remember when the rabbit vibrator was all the rage, and I was just like, yeah,
I wouldn't put it past them.
I get it, but yeah. What were we talking about?
I mean, he was doing something to keep her, because look at her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly that was my thought. That was my thought, AK.
Hi, Mina Ruth.
Hi, Mina, what's going on, girl? That's my homie.
Hi, welcome.
He made her laugh. I can relate to that.
Me too.
Being the exceptionally hot one in my relationship.
What do you do when you're exceptionally hot and funny? You're doing double duty. I feel like that's most of my situations.
You
like
get all the
exceptionally
hoes.
hot, funny, and more interesting.
Roger was cute. He was just,
He's
a rabbit.
He's a rabbit.
Rabbits are adorable.
They are.
And Jessica's not exactly
got to
human.
No, she's a two.
She still operates like she is, though. He's the nerd that got to have the head cheerleader fall in love with him.
Yeah, he was the actual good guy, not like a pretend good guy.
Yeah.
And Jessica Rabbit, I remember thinking she was just the most beautiful woman ever. And like,
100%.
I mean, low-key still want to look like Jessica Rabbit.
Everybody still look like Jessica
who
Rabbit.
don't?
There's
a reason people still remember this woman.
Yeah, I don't have the funds to make it happen, but
we'll get you in a good corset. It'll be fine.
Like,
you wear a corset long enough, your body does start to shape to it.
Yeah.
Sure. Just take out some organs, some ribs.
Have it in me.
Slip out a rib or two. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
Remember those rumors?
Yeah.
That ribs being removed.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as Miss Jessica is concerned, there's absolutely a difference when you watch this as a kid and then you watch it after puberty hits. Because that was also another tell that let me know, well,
yeah, I was gonna say,
maybe one of these things is not for me.
I wonder how many people like saw Jessica Rabbit for the first time. Like, how many women saw Jessica Rabbit for the first time and realized that, like, no, I am totally gay. Like,
I wholeheartedly believe I am not alone. I know I'm not the only one.
Just be like
you are.
A support
I thought
group,
she
like
was gorgeous younger when I was younger, but then I was just like,
I'm gonna start a support group called Jessica Turned Me.
Turns out.
Look, if any cartoon could.
It's Jessica Rabbit.
Stunning. And it's so funny because when I was watching it today,
What's good, Peter?
Hey, Peter, long time no see.
No, we're not
Peter
talking about
sometimes.
I haven't seen Sinners yet. So
wait, do you guys want to come through when we talk about it?
I'm seeing it on Thursday.
Saturday.
Perfect. Well, yeah, it's not going to be until like next week or something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Before we talk about
it. I'm seeing. Shout out to my homegirl Mitra. She's coming up. She's and I was like, yeah, I'll just go see it with you. So we're gonna go see it on the biggest screen in the country.
Well, shout out.
You got the
70 millimeter
4D wraparound full experience thing.
Yeah, they have that IMAX here in the city where they do it, and yeah, I'm very excited to see it because people. One of my coworkers yesterday, he was like, "I'm not okay." And I was like,
"So many good things."
That's all. I was like, "Don't tell me anymore. I don't need to know anything else about it." So, no, but Peter Griffin, we will be back to talk about Sinners.
Yes, we will
for sure. But yeah, Jessica Rabbit, you look at her, and it's like my favorite thing about her animation is the dress and the way that it sparkles and catches the light. Because sometimes it's like I think someone was telling me there's like 3 layers of animation to get this to look the way that it did. But at first, when she comes out, I'm like, man, this is back in the 80s when everybody was about titties and like a small waist. And then she turns around like, oh no, she still had the butt.
Wait, no, it's something back then too.
She had things.
No, she was
dressed
stacked. She was
like the dress did it.
Barbie from the Barbie movie could never walk in those.
Could never.
Like not even with her feet drawn that.
No matter how many squats she did, the curves would never be curving the right way.
Yeah, Jessica was fully stacked, and the song she
Hey Jackie.
The song she sings when we meet her, I remember thinking I didn't know what sexy was, but I knew that song was sexy, and like I wanted to sing it. I wanted to sing it. I wanted to have boobs and be womanly and like sing in a whispery voice. Like I remember.
Like, let me be sitting at that table like
Jessica turned all the Tom girls into feministas.
Yeah, like not necessarily the first time I saw it, but like as I watched it as I got older, like I remember being like, I want to have huge boobs. Wish that on myself.
Good job.
She's so incredibly captivating. It doesn't matter who you are. She comes out because this whole time, like the gag is that you're like, oh, okay, gag. That Roger Rabbit is like fraught and just like distraught over this woman who's like cheating on him on page 6, right? And Eddie's like, who cares? She's a bunny,
right?
And just like my favorite thing about one of my favorite things about this movie is his reaction to her, because his reaction to her is my reaction to her every time I see that scene.
Every time
You're just like, whoa.
There is one line that he says that I think just sums it up completely when she's at his apartment and she's like, you don't know how hard it is being a woman that looks like me. So you don't know how hard it is being a man looking at a woman that looks like you.
Yeah.
And I've never identified with a sentence in a movie so well. It has something that may be controversial.
I was just a little bit, right? I'm like, well, where's your accountability and responsibility for keeping your hands to yourself? But,
for the era that she was trying to convey with her look, do you think at all in the production that anyone was like, we need to make her look like she could pass?
You know what? I always thought she was a black woman.
I have never considered
so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, no, I always thought, because like I have cousins who are like light skinned with red hair, so I was just like, oh yeah, she's.
I do too, but I never thought of it.
I thought she was like mixed. I always assumed she was the mixed girl. Like Ariel, white. Jessica Rabbit, mixed for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe it's just the attitude that they gave her. I don't even remember what the lady's name is that voiced
Kathleen
her.
Turner. Kathleen Turner voiced her, and she's not credited.
That was Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner, yeah.
Holy shit.
I hope
speaking of names.
I hope you. Oh, fuck. Where she slaps him. I hope you whatever. Yeah, there's pictures too. I forgot. I just watched it too. Jackie, wear it wherever you want. Wear it in your house for no reason on a Saturday while you're
right. You don't have to be going in. You could be going to the bathroom and put that on.
Or just throw a party.
Just throw. Should we have a Who Framed Roger Rabbit theme party?
Not until I'm in town.
You're not allowed to be Jessica Rabbit.
Duh. We can do outfit change. I'm gonna be Eddie Valiant, and then I'll do an outfit change, and I'll be Jessica.
Because like I'll only be Jessica Rabbit. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm like costume change. Yeah. Well, I guess let's talk about this movie.
Did you guys notice the first few names that came up at the end credits relative to how big the MCU has gotten here?
No,
not the MCU, but MCU adjacent. Kathleen Kennedy worked on this. Alan Silvestri did the music for it, and he's done like half of the Marvel MCU, all their films.
He's let's see.
There was somebody else. I forgot. I should have wrote it down. But there are like two other people that now have very close ties with work from Marvel.
Yeah,
I just thought that was interesting.
Silvestri, Polar Express, Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, Castaway, all the Back to the Futures, Predator, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which we know. The new. I didn't see the photo. The Witch is the new one, which I love. Avengers, etc. The Mario Brothers movie. Remember that?
Oh, do y'all want to review the Mario Brothers movie?
Maybe. Can we talk about the licensing?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Go for it.
So, if you don't know, to have characters from other movies, you got to get a lot of licenses. And we're looking at Warner Brothers and Disney. That's a lot of fucking licenses to get. And essentially their licensing deal ended up being that the characters had to share equal screen time.
Screen time?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's why you see like Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny on at the same time in the same scene. Daffy Duck and Donald
Duck and Donald.
Same thing. Yeah. It's just
that's a clever way to handle that.
Yeah. And I forgot the number of characters that cross over, but it was huge. So many
Quite
people.
A few.
And so like licensing wise, that is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And they kind of it's another little quirk I think I really like about this movie is they don't take themselves too seriously. And they will interject little things like when Eddie was talking to the production guy that hired him to go take the pictures. He said something specific about, we even got these characters over here from Disney, and they're working for peanuts.
Maroon, Arcade Maroon.
You don't catch that tea when you're a kid, but knowing what we know now, like okay, that's absolutely a vibe.
Who's your favorite cameo?
Maybe Betty Boop.
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
Goyle.
because we don't see her anymore, and I
think I
dig that they put her where she was.
Those trees look.
She brought in that classic look just to let you know she's still there, and I love that.
The trees do look like they're about to get it on because they're from a Silly Symphonies short, and I can't remember. It's something about spring, and basically what happens is these two trees are they're together, they're in love, and this burnt out tree comes and basically, like they used to do, steals the woman. She's like, no, save me, save me, save me, and then sets
Wait,
the
she
other
was
guy
like,
on
what?
fire. And he gets the girl at the
Somebody
end.
clip that and send it to Nikki.
I'll make it a gift. But yeah, so they are from another cartoon, and that was fun for me seeing the cartoons from other ones. Like I love Silly Symphonies. I love I like Google that often, and I watch these old ones.
I love a good crossover period.
Yeah.
That's why I could never stay in just one genre writing fan fiction.
Yeah.
Why not have fun?
Why not have fun and do the things? And you know what I also really liked? I liked at the Ink and Paint Club, like almost all the tunes that were working there, except for Betty Boop, were birds. I don't know if y'all peeped that.
I didn't.
They're penguins. There were waiters. They're Donald Duck and
Daffy.
Yeah. Performing. The crows from Dumbo were on the rhythm section for Jessica Rabbit. Yeah, only birds.
And it's only human customers were allowed there.
Good old segregation.
Yep.
So basically,
one on the board for the politics.
Capitalism, erasure of culture. Check.
Oh yeah, because I didn't catch until when I was actually rewatching it.
Check.
Yeah, like he wants to kill the whole of Toontown for a microwave, for a highway.
Rum's kicking in, huh?
I don't know where that came in. She got hungry. The microwave, the dip, connected. I see.
I want to eat a cracker.
I was so ready when we decided that we weren't going to do the stream last time because I came loaded with facts. And one of them was talking about so Christopher Lloyd ultimately got the part, right, as Judge Doom, but they were talking about other people who they had considered for this part. One of them was Tim Curry, but they thought he would be too scary.
What?
He would.
Yeah.
Tim Curry will morph into any character no matter what
that's
you
give him.
That's why he's
right?
terrifying.
What would that character look like?
Just scary.
Tim Curry there. He would be the best type of scary though.
Yeah, but it would turn into a horror movie.
He does that so well.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Technically he wasn't the judge supposed to be a terror?
Yeah, he's scary, but like kids still gotta watch it. Tim Curry, I think, takes it to
kids was watching
level.
Jessica Rabbit grind on Eddie.
Hey, she wasn't grinding.
She didn't grind. She
wasn't grinding.
Lowered the please.
Don't you slander?
I'm sorry. And slapped her boobs in his face real quick. My bad.
That was an accident.
It was, and he slapped his head in her boobs.
Not when
dabbling in watercolors, Eddie.
That was not an accident.
My favorite quotes.
When he was in the hallway, though, getting dressed, he absolutely came up, and I caught that. And it hit different again with adult eyes.
Yeah, dude. This movie's crazy. It was at that time, it was the most expensive movie ever made. It was also the movie with the longest end credits at that time because of the amount of people who worked on the animation. It was like for 10 minutes it's going on. For 10 minutes, they went on and it did not mention Kathleen Turner at all. But whatever. I'm sure there was a reason.
Why that is.
Yeah. Let's see. Bill Murray was also in the running. Harrison Ford. They couldn't get him.
Glad he didn't get it.
Too expensive. Chevy Chase, not interested.
Yeah, no.
No.
And then other people were like Robert Redford, Jack Nicholson, Sylvester Stallone, Ed Harris, Charles Grodin, Ed Harris. Maybe I could have seen Wallace Shawn, but Wallace Shawn would have been too. He's got too much. He's reeking of Princess Bride too much of me for this role.
Who's in the Princess Bride?
Inconceivable.
Oh yeah, nah. Couldn't have been him. Love him as an actor, but no, that role would not have been good for him.
But yeah, I was just like looking at stuff about Judge Doom. Christopher Lloyd, if you guys don't know, like why he was creepy. He was creepy for so many reasons, but one of the ones is that he didn't blink while he was on camera. That was part of his thing to make him not real.
He was a method actor, I think, for the time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think they said that he just walked around and you know who was a method actor? The voice of Roger Rabbit, the man who voiced Roger Rabbit. He had them costume make him a bunny suit, a Roger suit, and he wore it the whole time.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, so people could like actually interact with him. Charles Fleischer, there we go. Charles Fleischer. He made them full body Roger Rabbit suit. I wonder where that is. That must be in somebody's film vault.
In somebody's vault.
Yeah.
So I was looking up why Kathleen Turner wasn't credited, and I wonder if it's because she just didn't care to be. Because she said she just took the job because she was pregnant and could just do it, just show up and do her voice. Basically.
Oh, maybe. Well,
interesting.
So maybe she wasn't expecting
reissue.
it to be a hit, and she was just like, "Oh, whatever, I'll just do it."
Yeah, when they reissue and do that Blu-ray, get back on. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're not going to talk. But I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? His wife allegedly is cheating on him. Turns out that it's a setup. He doesn't know that. He murders Marvin Acme, the king of the gags, the hand buzzer, all that stuff. But his Marvin Acme was playing, not that, because we know that he didn't murder him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was still playing patty cake with his wife. So
I mean, what kind of patty cake were they getting into that Roger went off the picture like that?
They're tunes. It was just patty cake. That's very sexy for them.
Very sexy. And maybe Roger maybe he's got great hands and that's why she they play patty cake together.
Okay,
all the time.
Yet another reason that he's able to keep her.
Yeah. He's like, who knows what he's got going on under those gloves?
God.
Patty, and I just remember being really young and being like, because you've heard people called like say hanky panky, playing patty cake, but not like that. And I just knew as a young person that I was like, what is this patty cake? I know what I think it sounds like. And your parents let you watch it because they're just playing patty cake. Like they know.
Not even that they let us watch it, but it was put in the movie in the first place with those sounds and was not explained right away.
Patty cake.
This was made for children. See, this is why I will always agree with folks when they say kids these days is soft, okay? Because that's the bullshit we had to suss out for ourselves because nobody was explaining shit.
No, nobody did. But yeah, it's just so crazy, so crazy. Because he loses his mind. Like I almost always forget about the opening scene, the Baby Herman cartoon, until it comes on. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a short in the beginning of this. Hashtag Pixar. We decided to steal this model. Excuse me. But that comes on and you're just like, oh, you're so immersed in this thing. You're like, that's cool. Roger Rabbit's in this cartoon. You think it's gonna be like just animated for the whole thing. And then the refrigerator door swings open and you see all these like cartoonized props. And suddenly you're in the real world and you're like, wait a second. It's like Tanya, like I would 100% want to live there. It's like my dream. Throw in the Muppets and like I'm never leaving. Never. Oh. Yeah. Poor Roger gets his heart busted wide open. And we got the reluctant Eddie Valiant.
His brother was killed by trauma. He needs a psychologist.
You know what's funny that I didn't peep until today when I was watching it is that you have the scene where Eddie is showing like where Roger's seeing the pictures, drinking his whiskey. I wish it made me feel like that. But he's flipping through the pictures, right? And then he goes out and he's in the alley crying, please. And he's looking in his wallet. But then Eddie, the scene right after that is Eddie goes back to his place and he's looking at the pictures of his brother. And I was like, look at this mirroring sadness that's happening. And that
was so sad because like, he had a happy trip down memory lane.
Yeah,
and we saw his main squeeze was like always over there. They were a trio.
Dolores. Yeah,
and then it got down to just him, and we don't see anything. He tears in his eyes, and then he's being woken up the next day because he got drunk and passed out at his desk. And also that I realized that he was using that space as his office as well, but that was a pretty stacked studio apartment.
Well, that was before inflation, and when you could get, a studio with a hidden bed for $75 a month or some shit. Well, I don't know. $50 was a huge paycheck, well, half of a paycheck, and 100 was a lot. So, but this is 1947. That's when this movie takes place. So, I'll Google. But, yeah, it's just like a sad, sad alcoholic man. His brother, like Tanya said, his brother was murdered by a tune.
And they
Dropped
never
the
caught him.
piano on his head.
Like, that's a crazy way to die. Because he's a human, not a tune. Like, that's gory.
Like the explosion, because and that's what I thought about today when I was watching it, because they show Marvin Acme, right, the outline of his thing. They've got like the safe angled into the ground, and I was like, but where's the blood? And then I was like, because I was being super morbid now, looking for the blood, which obviously not going to show in this, but I'm looking at the cadaver under the sheet. I'm like, does it look like he's got a head under there? I'm not sure. I never thought about that before. Kind of didn't, but
yeah, I'm sure it got
just
popped
me.
right open.
Like, imagine getting it. Like, you, like, I don't know if you've ever seen, I don't know if you guys have ever moved a piano.
Not a very
Very
far
heavy.
distance.
Yeah,
But
I had
yeah,
to
they
bring
are
one
very heavy.
across the country, internationally and back. And you have to get special people for that. Like, they are literal piano movers. They come and that's their job. They have all this special equipment. 1947, no pointy bras. Were pointy bras a 1947 thing?
I don't know.
Because that's like after the war, or during the war. Let me see. Pointy bras, 1947. I'm gonna look it up. Where's Heidi when you need her?
Right?
She would know.
It says 1950s, 50s and 60s. So
we're chatting about the Wheel of Time with her on Thursday.
Yeah, ask her about that. I'd be really curious to know about the pointy bra era. I'm so glad we don't live there now.
Yeah, I would be obscene. Like, I'd be a danger to society.
Tanya would have like traffic cones.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Yeah. Like, I would be an actual danger to society if I wore a pointy bra.
You'd be like Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, but hers weren't pointy.
They're very rounded. What a voluptuous. Like, we're just gonna talk. We should just have a Jessica Rabbit stream. Clearly,
I was gonna say something.
Say less.
I forgot what it was.
Put it on the calendar.
Wait. Keep talking. I just like had it and
Jessica
then I lost
Rabbit
it.
Stream. Eddie being depressed, but finding his solace in the bottom of a bottle with his homie, who was like, "Yo, if you needed money, you should have just came to me and like done a job." And he's like,
he looked like he could probably have gotten him a job at wherever he's working at.
Well, I think that my suspicion is that they probably did used to work together quite often, and then his brother died and he went to shit.
Yeah.
It's like, because the guy plays him, right? The guy plays him when he comes in, and he was like, "Didn't you used to be Eddie Valiant, or did you? I heard you change your name to Jack Daniels."
Yeah.
And I was like, not Jack Daniels. Like, if I ever go down that road, please don't. Like, if you know that I'm far gone when it's Jack Daniels, that's my choice. Like, I'm robbing a liquor store for Tullamore Dew or Jameson at the very least.
Yeah.
No shade to Jameson. We love Jameson.
No, Jack Daniels though. Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Jack Daniels is when you don't really know better, like your freshman or sophomore year in college.
Not even.
Jack Daniels is for when you plan to drive drunk.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna drive drunk tonight. Like, you go drink Jack Daniels.
I feel like Jack Daniels is like you have to already be drunk to drink it. Yeah. I don't. There's like Tennessee whiskey is delicious. There are so many, and Tennessee bourbons are delicious, but I don't know. Like, we're never gonna get a sponsorship now. Unless you're a direct competitor. Wink, wink. Holler at us. We do like whiskey. Just not that one.
It just has to be the right kind of whiskey.
Yeah.
We can talk if you want to throw a bag.
Yeah. But it's just, the poor man is in pain. He's got this dude who's like, "Hey, yo, come to the scene of the crime. We got to talk to you because we know that you saw him last night. And come meet the scariest man in town."
Bruh.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was thinking about the bar scene, shave and a haircut. And I was going to say, what would be your shave and a haircut?
What would make me come out? Like a song or
a song?
A song? Oh shit! I
can
had
tell
one
you
in my head. I had one and it just went away.
Those opening strings and back that ass up.
Back that ass up. It should shave the haircut.
I would
Yeah.
jump through the wall.
You know what?
Burst through the wall.
It would be that, or it'd be Manamana. Try not to do after that. It's impossible.
You're right. Do 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 do.
See? Manamana.
Do 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 do.
And if that part played and I did and I made it, then I would be. It's the scat that would get me after that.
Mine's a little longer, but yeah, it's the main one that stands out in my brain. It's You Remind Me of the Babe.
I don't know that song.
God damn it, y'all are disappointing me right now. Jackie, please help me out. Please tell me you're not in the realm of ridiculousness with them. Terrible.
Pick another song.
I'm not that much older than y'all.
No, but I didn't grow up here.
I just don't know that song.
Never seen Labyrinth?
Nope.
Once or twice.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it was not a. It was.
You've never seen Labyrinth?
Oh, we should do it then. Is it on our list? No,
nope.
It might be.
Well, it's on there now. Damn it.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it once or twice. I don't. It wasn't a movie that was played in my household. I think the darkest that we got as far as Jim Henson went was Dark Crystal. And even that either.
Like, I think the Dark Crystal was arguably a little darker than
David Bowie,
Labyrinth. Unless you start really doing a deep dive on some of the subtext on what was going on there.
Yeah.
The story gets a little creepy.
We should do. I mean, I watched The Dark Crystal last weekend, actually, and I still love that movie. And I really loved the series that came out on Netflix because it was excellent.
Like, I haven't watched it yet because I never watched the original.
You don't need to watch the original. You don't need to watch the original. The original,
because what they gave out was a prequel, right?
It's a prequel, yeah, but it's still like as far as all these things that are happening currently now, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like the topics are still relevant. Both the movie and the series are that, and I watched it when it came out in 2020, and let me tell you,
the dirty cops.
Was I triggered?
the dirty weasel cops.
It's the weasels. My favorite, like he's one of my favorite characters. I forgot who the lead weasel is because he always says everything fucked up, right? He's like, you want that we should disresemble the place.
It was so very camp 1940s, like Chicago gangster. Just I adore that.
The pants pulled all the way out.
He's my number two. He's my number two favorite cameo. Then
yeah, he
with the suits on. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. He says so many things in the movie that just like make me laugh. But Disresemble the Place is my favorite one. You're just like, what did he say? And then Judge Doom was like, no, that won't be necessary. He's like, it won't be necessary. And he like casually corrects him, but not really. Yeah. It's just, I mean, you have everything here. You got a mystery. You've got an unwilling hero, maybe a little bit morally gray. You've got, basically, I try to get out and they pull me back in vibes, You've got his ride or die.
Femme fatale.
What you think is a femme fatale. Apparently, they toyed with her being the one who did it. Yeah, they had or Baby Herman being the one who did it.
Baby Herman?
Yeah. I have heard the Baby Herman theory before.
Yeah. I think that
he secretly put it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have all of those, and they're just like so much fun. Like the jokes are really funny. We can talk about the animation all day, but the music is really good. The animation is funny. And you have this story that you just can't get off the train, like you put from the very second, like from the Baby Herman cartoon ending, you're just like, what do you mean he can't see stars? He's like, birds and like all these other things. He's like hitting himself on the head with a frying pan, and he's just like not nailing it because he's in love and his heart's broken. It's broken. And you do that, but then you get to see Eddie's character arc, right? His that he used to be such a fun-loving, happy guy, and then something happened that broke him, and now he's like stuck in handcuffs with an asshole who could have gotten out only when it was funny.
Only when it was funny.
He was like, I mean, you could have got out of these cuffs anytime. Not anytime. Only when it was funny.
That right there is one of the things where, like, I don't know if you guys ever watched those, here, watch this thing about a childhood character that you loved and let me ruin your life thing.
The Zach Morris
there was
effect?
a few. Look, you can put that on the drink and drag list.
We've rebranded it. We've rebranded it.
We've rebranded.
Oh, what is it?
Roast and toast.
Roast and toast.
I fucks with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Roger could kind of also be considered an antagonist here, because you were literally dragging this man into shit that had nothing to do with him. He was given a job. He did the job. He came with his friend when he asked, and he gave his witness testimony. All he wanted to do was go sit back down at his office and drink and be and wallow in his sorrow. You pull him into this huge murder mystery, and the whole time it's forcing him back down through that tunnel, back into Toontown,
forcing him to confront his demons
before he's ready.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jackie.
Because he is trash. He is trash.
It's horrible.
I think what's my girl's name? Owelu something or other. I think she has a segment on that too.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I guess Eddie got dragged into it, but he could have at any time. He could have said no, but he had, deep down inside, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
With the stalker Roger Rabbit handcuffing himself to him, Roger knew exactly what the hell he was doing when he put that handcuff on.
Well, I mean, he knew he could get out if it was funny. And I'm like, wait a second.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You wanted for murder, and this is what you doing?
It's just like all these things that you're like, wait a second. You're a cartoon. You've had a refrigerator dropped on your head 23 times, but you can't hold your breath underwater for longer than 2 seconds.
I'm saying.
It's just
he had a death wish.
What about
they weren't pointing toon guns at Eddie. Those were real guns they were holding, guns. Which I think was kind of a subtle precursor, because once he does get back to Toontown, he has to take the toon Glock with him and the toon bullets.
He's like, oh, dum. Shout out to Jessica Rabbit's car.
Facts. Through a car that could drive itself flawlessly.
The cab
was it Sunny? Reggie? Maybe?
No. That was the cabin.
Sammy?
Let's see. Cabin. Who framed Roger? Benny.
I knew it was something with a double letters in
double vowels, double consonants for sure. Yeah, Benny was great. I love that character. We don't see
Benny was about that life. Like the first time we see him, he's in the back of the he's on his way to lockup in the back of the cruiser.
Right? He was like, I was driving on the sidewalk.
Like, what did they pick him up for originally?
Only a couple of miles. He was driving on the sidewalk.
That's right.
Sorry, I had to look this up. I had more notes and I don't know where they are. It's the weasels. That is my favorite. My favorite. I love like, as serious as these things are, like the jokes always shine through, right? Like where he tricks Roger into drinking the whiskey. He's like, give the rabbit a drink. And he's like, I drink the drink. I don't want the drink. Drink the drink. Because I did that with my brother.
I do that with my kids.
Right? I do that with my nephews. And they're just like, wait a second.
Y'all are terrible shit disturbers. And I love you both. Never change that about yourselves, please.
The little one has started telling me not to copy him. Because I was repeating what he said the other day. And he was like, wait, stop copying me. I was like, who's copying me? So
he will immediately start planning your demise.
Oh yeah, because the older one, I forgot what our nicknames were for them on the stream, but the older one, I got him in the do you want to play shadow game? And he was so mad. He was so mad. Jackie was like, you have to stop.
What's the shadow game?
Oh, do you want to play shadow? And then you just follow somebody around, you do exactly what they're doing. everything that they do. Whatever
Yeah,
they
that
say,
would
you
get old
say.
real quick. Absolutely
oh yeah,
not.
especially when you're like 7. But he got me because one time I was like, "Hey, do you want to play the quiet game?" He's like, "What's the quiet game?" I was like, "You can't talk." I was like, "First one to talk loses, right?" Do you know
Did you
this?
lose
I
on
don't
purpose?
remember how old he was. Maybe I feel like he was younger than 8 because more than 4 years ago. And I'm good at the quiet game because I'm the oldest. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody anyway. Like, whatever. This kid had not Jackie, had our other sister Beth passing notes. He wrote down on a piece of paper, and he was like, he gestured and she gave it to me. I opened up, it says, "The floor is lava. You can't stand there." And I was like, yeah. The only reason I wouldn't say that I lost, but the baby started crying and I had to go over. So yeah, this he must have been about 8. So the baby started crying and I had to go talk to the baby because the baby was crying. So it wasn't fair. But we played for, it was like 23 minutes of the quiet game. And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh yeah. All right.
Tanya, you good over there, girl?
I just choked on a little bit of beer.
That's what we're calling
Get
it
some
these days.
water to help, please.
I was looking for Weasel's quotes because they're so funny. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we didn't talk about this movie, but we talked about like this is the Who Framed Roger Rabbit Stan stream because I just like. I mean, do you have a favorite part? In the comments, favorite part. Tell me.
I think I really like when Judge Doom reveals that he's a toon. Well, no, before that, when he starts reminding Eddie, he's like, "And he talked like this."
And then his eyes turn into daggers.
Yeah. That was so
okay.
scary.
Terrifying.
I have 2 favorite parts actually. The first one was this. I think this is when my fandom lore keeper in my brain was awoken because I didn't understand why he was running from the acid thing when it was spilled in the bar. Was it the bar that it was at?
No, they were.
Or maybe
like
it's at the garage. One of the places, and all the other humans were just sitting there fine, but he was backing up as it spread.
Oh yeah. And the
that looks weird.
Yeah.
And also when he murdered the shoe, he used a big ass glove.
Yep.
And what did the shoe do?
Yo, they straight up murdered a shoe.
It was a murder. What happened to due process?
After he talked about what happens when toons start murdering a human. A toon was murdered by a human, he says. And then he proceeds to murder a toon. Right in front of everybody. And I like how the other cops was
just looking at him like, oh,
they turned their heads. They were also horrified. It was awful.
And again, if that's not commentary on our real world right now.
Excuse me.
Shave and a haircut. I remember I used to always laugh when that the weasel that I'm talking about, his name was Smartass, apparently. Did not know. There was another one named Greasy.
His actual name is Smartass, like it says that in the credits.
I'm looking at the thing, it says Smartass. And but there's the other weasel when he's like, they're trying to like search for the will, and he's like, look, he's like, I'll search this one. He puts his hands down Jessica Rabbit's cleavage, and he comes out. He's like, nice booby trap. Oh,
something else I did not catch as a kid.
I mean, that one I got because we said boobs because we were spelling boobs backwards in calculators and shit, you know.
Boob.
Oh, there we go. Search the place, boys, and you leave no stone unturned.
Right. You're on like the 3rd floor of a building. There's no stones in there, sir.
Oh my God. Like everything about it. It's just like yeah, everything about him. My cousin has a band called the Chuckleheads, and it's the crazy looking weasel, the one that dies first, one of the ones
with the straight jacket.
With the straight jacket.
Yeah,
my soulmate. Oh yeah, the weasels are great. What do you think about the concept of dying laughing?
It's not something I've ever thought about before.
Because it's like happens in this movie, and it's just like, here's a tune.
Isn't that also a thing that happened in real life.
That somebody died laughing.
Well, I don't know if they
They-
died, but it was like a huge laughing fit. I want to say it was at a school
Oh wow! Did they have a heart attack
or something. Yeah, and they couldn't. It was a girls' school. I want to say Africa. I could be misremembering. Maybe Google it.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
But yeah, they hit a laughing spell of something, and they just could not stop. I think it was actually, it may not have been Africa, but I know Salmonella did a documentary on it.
Extremely rare form of death, usually resulting from cardiac arrest or asphyxiation.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
There's a movie called Die Laughing.
Thought catalog: 10 people who literally died from laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ruptured brain aneurysm, cardiac arrest, collapsed lung, strangulated hernia, classic seizure, stroke, and asphyxiation. Well. It's still just so counter because like Roger Rabbit says a few times, but he's like, my purpose in life is to make people laugh. So of laughing, Jackie died of laughing. But the purpose in life is to make people laugh. And then you have these guys who are
who get yelled at when they laugh.
Sorry. I don't mean to laugh at you for almost dying.
Wagwan Princess.
Chantal, but yeah, I'm sorry. You passed out. Wow. So I guess you can.
Yeah, because it also would deprive you of oxygen.
Yeah, that was my
certain
thought,
degree.
Like heart attack or that, because like I've had those times where you're just like you literally cannot catch your breath. You're just like, I haven't had a laugh like that in a little while. I'd love one, but without the dying part. And that's And here you have these other tunes who they cannot laugh because it will kill them. Like, whoa. And just to see them at the very end, like they're doing the funny song. Go ahead. I heard it sharp.
It was kind of like a pandemic. It seemed like it's like you remember what happened the last time to those other ones that couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, that his cousin. He's like your shitty cousins, the hyenas. That's why the hyenas went extinct. He was saying,
laughing too much. Yeah. Okay, I missed the hyena part.
Yeah, yeah. Your idiot cousins, the
Interesting,
hyenas, or some shit like that. Yeah. If you don't stop that laughing, one day you're gonna die laughing. Like amazing.
No, I want to watch it again.
I know, me too. I'm halfway through and I'll start it over when I should be rewatching Wheel of Time, which I did watch back to back twice. But yeah, I don't know. This movie is amazing. I don't know if it won any awards, but it should have. Let me see.
Absolutely, it should have.
And it's just like when that movie came out, like what category do you even put that in? Let's see. It was an Oscar nominee.
Probably kids comedy because it was rated G.
It won
right?
Best Film Editing.
Best film. Okay, good.
Best visual effects.
I see. Yeah. Best cinematography. Nominated. Set direction. Best sound. Yeah. Yeah, winner, best film editing. Yeah, that's the least that they could do.
All deserved.
Like imagine. Also, best visual effects, right? Yeah, that's cool. But they were nominated. Let's see. Bob Hoskins was nominated for best actor. In 1990, it won the best fantasy film at the Saturn Awards. Oh, the Academy of Science, Fantasy, Horror, and Horror Films. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe that's what we should be checking out. The Saturn Awards. Robert Zemeckis won Best Director for that. Joanna, yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, wow. Let's see. They've got some other things here. Best It was nominated for Best Writing, Best Music, Best Special Effects. Yeah. Oh, look at all these other ones.
Oh yeah.
For BMI, he won. Alan Silvestri won music award.
Nice. They had a pretty solid crew and a solid the human actors. I forget her name. What was it? Margaret in there? The bartender. That
Dolores.
I don't know if that is Dolores.
Yeah.
She's also just as high caliber an actor as Bob Hoskins was.
Absolutely.
And yeah, every familiar face I saw in there was again just homage to my childhood and all the great actors that we got to see do their work.
Yeah, I just like I think about, I mean, like now with CGI and these things, but like, what's it like acting with someone who is not there? Like you're playing all these scenes, like the Trust Fleischer, who did the voice of Roger Rabbit, he was like, no. If I'm in there, I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be in the rabbit suit so they can interact with me, like as I read these lines, right? But there's so many instances where it's just you pretending to ride a fucking dragon.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
motion capture was not a thing.
Is right here. I'm gonna watch him get killed and just stare at. Anyway,
well, it is 10:01.
It is. And normally we would hang out, except I'm tired. Tanya's tired.
I'm so
AK's tired.
Yes, yeah. I need a nap.
I
need a very good nap.
If you're just tuning in now, spoiler alert: 70% of this stream was about Jessica Rabbit, and the rest was about the rest of the film. Because this is a film. It should be. In my mind, this is a film.
Absolutely.
You know? It's a film. Like Goodfellas, also a film.
This is cinema.
Yeah.
So,
how many Jessica Rabbits would you guys give it?
10 out of 10.
Them. Yeah.
5 out of 5,
yeah,
whatever the rating is.
10 out of 10, that's 20 titties.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 across the board. You know, shout out again to Billy Porter and Pose. 10s across the board.
Yes, absolutely. There's not a dull moment. I don't get bored when I watch it. I
never
watch it just like everything. It doesn't matter how many times I've heard the jokes. I still laugh because they're still funny. Like it's timeless. It's a classic.
Yeah, I think I was 8 when I saw it the first time. I am 44 now.
20 out of 10, Jessica.
And I still enjoy it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he fucks with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, final thoughts.
Love the movie. Watching it tomorrow when I wake up for breakfast. And I don't have enough Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so I don't own anything Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Either.
So if anybody would like to gift us a Who Framed Roger Rabbit merch of any kind, preferably a t-shirt, but I'll take a trench.
A trench.
That was a picture I almost took. Was her in the trench coat with the Carmen Sandiego hat. Fire,
super fly. Real quick, can we talk about fake Jessica Rabbit?
Oh my!
Oh my god! You know who that reminded me of? You remember the girl Gremlin in Gremlins, the new batch?
Yes.
That is exactly what that reminded me of. But the girly Gremlins, at least she had some decorum about how she conducted herself. This chick, so the minute man steps in there trying to get his bearings, oh my god, a man!
Just so funny. And I love that he was so quickly fooled, right? Because he just
Lady D was good
from the tape of the road, and she like ran into the building. He knows what gets the tunes every time. Like 2 times his place,
right?
Yeah. Or Scotch on the Rock.
You know what that reminded me of?
Nice.
Yeah.
They should have had something going on the other half of the screen with like Pepe Le Pew.
They couldn't get him.
That crazy chick.
They couldn't get him.
They couldn't get Pepe.
They couldn't get him. Yeah, there's a list of characters that they couldn't get. They wanted to feature them, but there were I think it was like 140 or something cameos. But he's on. There are other people that like Pepe Le Pew, Marvin the Martian. There were others that they wanted in there, but they couldn't. They couldn't make it happen. He costs money.
See again, the ultimate crossovers, man. I love a good anything with crossover where all of my characters collide.
Yeah. I mean, now that in case anybody joined late, they are books. So if you're a reader, Who Censored Roger Rabbit is the original, and there are 3 other books after that. It sounds like they're all their own adventures, and I will be reading each one of them. I'm about halfway through Who Censored Roger Rabbit, and it is a delight. I guess since we're talking about that, what else do we have coming up, Tanya? Do we have anything else this month? No, right?
Book club next month.
Book club next month. And it is.
What's the book club? Is it the scary book?
Halfway to Halloween.
Halfway to Halloween stream. We are doing The Dance of Rotten Sticks by
with the author, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Jason
also, let me just give my girls their flowers, y'all. They have the authors coming on to talk about their books with them now. Did y'all know that?
Thank you. And we have a second author coming on soon. After yeah. That book is called The Shadow of the Eternal Watcher.
I thought
By
I had
Jeff
it right next to
Mendoza.
me, but I don't.
Jeff Mendoza. It's yeah, mine is over there.
Josh Mendoza.
Josh.
I don't have any writing utensils near me. Can you put that in the WhatsApp, please, Nikki?
Yeah, no, I'll write it here in the comments. Next book club. Somebody talk while I do this.
I'll make links for those. I guess my final words are I just love this movie and I'm gonna watch it again probably soon. I'm gonna make it a movie night and force my kids to sit through it again. Till they love it.
Yeah, I don't know if my nephews, if the older one has seen it yet, but like he needs to. Because it's so funny and he's at the age like my brother's reaction to Jessica Rabbit the first time we'll never forget. I won't talk about it, but he had a reaction to her as young boys are wont to do. And yeah, I mean, just how could you not?
I can relate.
How could you not? And also, you know what one of my favorite things about this movie is, as I'm thinking about it, the camera work for Jessica Rabbit's scenes during her performance. The way that they've got the camera moving around her as she walks down the stage and stuff, just like, how sweet. Let's see. So that's
was it just me
and Josh Mendoza. That is on 6/20. You guys have plenty of time to read these books.
Testing.
Shadow. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my whole screen just froze. Like y'all just froze for like a good 5 seconds for me.
Was it a good pose?
Yes, actually.
Josh Mendoza. Yeah, so both of these authors will be on and they'll be talking to us.
That's awesome.
Soon, in I guess the fall, we'll be having Nina back with the second installment. A daughter of
Hey. Yeah, can we promote that again in the chat? Because yes, I did finish the first one, and
did you like it?
Absolutely, really liked it. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm eagerly looking forward to book 2.
Yeah, the cover has been revealed.
Shout out to her again because she just seemed like a really cool person.
Oh yeah, she joined.
Yeah,
us
she was dope.
Yeah. I think pretty sure I was in the chat.
She wants to come back. She wants to do she said Pride and Prejudice, but the one with
the zombies.
Actor. No,
I was just about to say, can we do Pride and Prejudice and zombies?
Let's see. I'll tell you what she said, but it's one.
Please, por favor.
I mean, I guess we could do both. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a series, isn't it? Isn't Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Oh wait,
it's not related.
Author?
It's just the same type of. I don't
not.
Know.
Oh no, sorry. She wants to do Wuthering Heights, but with Tom Hardy. She made that very clear. Shout out to Mina. Hi, Mina. She wants to do that, but then she also wants to do Austenland with Jennifer Coolidge. And I told her that Tanya loves Jennifer Coolidge.
I do love
Jennifer Coolidge is the vibe of all vibes.
So yeah.
AK, final words.
Final words. This movie still holds up to everything that pleased my childhood heart when I first saw it. Then the first few years of me watching it over and over again, and understanding things more now. This was an absolute gem, and Jessica Rabbit will always be Bae.
Always. Bae forever.
And thank you for having me on, ladies. It's always a good time. It's been a while since we were able to do a stream together.
Yeah, we're here, and I guess we'll be doing one about Sinners soon.
Yes, indeed. Y'all look forward to that. I don't know if you guys want to do a double. We can wrap up the logistics off screen though.
Yeah. New book by Mina comes out sometime soon. I already pre-ordered it, but it's called.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The tax refund comes next week, so I'm gonna pre-order too.
Darkness. Oh, that's nice that you get to do that. Mine went straight to bills. An Air of Darkness and Ruin. Or Daughters of Chaos series. And shout out to Brandon Sanderson, who we had no references today.
Wait. Sure.
Oh shit!
Wait, no, I did
How did I not clock that? Okay, but see, I didn't recognize that though.
He dropped a new book earlier this week. It's a sci-fi book.
The streak is broken though. I don't like that. Like you mentioned it in the wrap up, so it doesn't count.
Him. Yes,
and I'm wearing the shirt. Nomad Sunrun.
Yeah. New book. It's
All right,
called. He says Secret
will
Project
allow
number
it.
5, and it's called not Tailored Realities, something. He just did a video about it, but whatever. Well, the original. I think it's the original. Maybe. Whatever. Find me on Instagram. We'll talk about it.
All right, guys.
Indeed.
All right.
Thanks for watching. This has been 30 Tuesday. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
That's all, folks.